morning, class. My name is Serge Kaburi, and today I'll cover my topic, which is the large African community in the city of Houston. And it's one of the largest African community in the United States, and they bring a great value to a city that we love so much. And as the survey that I did in that regard show that most of my classmates have met or have friends who are Africans. And in our city, one of the famous, among the famous African that I had the chance to know through the sport culture is Akim Olajuwon, who helped the city of Houston win the NBA trophy. And also Mutombo is an African as well. Akim Olajuwon is from Nigeria, and Mutombo is from Congo. And many sectors that the African community are impacting the city. So, a few African have been part of the Houston sport culture, as I mentioned, and also few in the business world. One is KC Lawal, who's doing a great part in the oil and gas industry and helping partner our city, and that I'll cover. So, the impact is not only economical, it's cultural, but also in many sectors. It's partnership and sectors such as agriculture and farming are among some that I'll cover in my topic. And so, the Houston African community are bringing a great contribution to that factor. So, as I was saying earlier, most African migrated to Houston mostly for education, and in doing that, so they'll decide to make Houston a home, partly because of the weather. We have pretty much some work coming from the west part of Africa, having pretty much hot and humid weather, so they make that choice either after education, some stays, and became part of that large community of helping Houston grow and prosper in many sectors. So some they go in the healthcare industry, a large number of them, and some help the city of Houston partner with the country they came from in Africa for many reasons. Some mostly for the Nigeria in the oil and gas sector, that the country has so much natural resources in that matter, and some partnership for mining gold, helping for the industry, partner for the jewelry makers and those stores that we find in the city that we love so dear. Furthermore, the African Houston are creating an identity for themselves, because not only they try to thrive for themselves and their family, but also they try to add value to a city by creating businesses. So, and some of them also have in my survey mentioned they create a restaurant, their own stores, and they're part also the education, the fabric. Some they teach, they're becoming teachers, and they see among many value they add. Those are it. So for anyone coming to Houston, get to notice how this strong community is helping build our city. So, and among many in that industry, they also try to bring a rich culture from Africa, which has some similarity to the city of Houston, being southern hospitality, kind to one another, greet one another, and love your neighbor. So those are among the things that we have from Africa and Houston all together. So that makes this community grow, and those people try to be positive and bring a good sense of family to our city. And this large community, as mentioned by the Kinder Institute of Research from Rice, roughly around 61,000 Africans, and the large majority of them are Nigerian, but they do count less than 5,000, and the rest are Ghanaians, Ethiopians, South Africans from other nations. So, like I covered in earlier, pretty much making those points, how this community bring the value to our city, making Houston whole, because they are part of Houston, making them Houstonians, and they try to bring, however they can, a good input to bring our city forward in building our great city. So, to do a recap of what I just covered in those points, is just talking about the Houston community being, the Houston African community being part of the fabric of Houston, helping Houston thrive, and they bring their contribution however way they can. For me, instance, I'm African, and I'm part of the Houston Chamber of Commerce of Africa, and doing my best to bring partnership between the city of Houston and not only some business partners in Africa, but also companies who like to do business with Houston. Some in the agriculture sector, some will know that shea butter comes from Africa. Then shea comes from a fruit that a lot of people don't know, and it's come from most part from West Africa. The sesame seed, and those are partners pretty much, bring some product to a lot of nations here in the U.S. So, and so I hope I've been able to this presentation to bring an insight to our city and the African community and what they're bringing to this to us all. I expect you to remember that African try to thrive in a sector such as education, business, sports, for the most part. And a lot of Africans are proud to call Houston home. So, as I mentioned, for instance, that you can see the note from the ABC News covering Kim Alaja and also Mutombo as well. Casey Lawal that I mentioned, who advised Bill Clinton on African affairs for a short time, but also was sitting on the board of the Port of Houston. So something that you can was mentioned, the rise of some African multinationals enterprise, a book written by Amongo Emimbo. So this was an insight. So just giving everybody the idea. So, and I hope that you get to know that it's always good to be able to bring something, a added value rather than take it. So, thank you all.